Good evening, everybody. It is Friday, September 26th, 2025. A little over a year past Helene. So, we are talking about another tropical system affecting the South again, a little over 1 year since Helene. Now, we're not expecting anything near as catastrophic as Helene, but there are some things that we're going to discuss this evening that could be potentially impactful for portions of western North Carolina as well. So, I want to get and dive deep into what we're looking at here. Right now, we are looking at our potential tropical cyclone 9 here. Okay, so a lot to talk about, a lot to digest. I don't want people to come into this and be panicking and going out and buying all the bread and milk and everything. We want to be very, very cautious here over the next couple days. A lot can change. I want to be crystal clear about the fact that lots can change, okay? The National Hurricane Center has finally issued a cone here, and you guys can see that here on our radar here. And we're looking at satellite imagery. You can see the system is starting to get its act together here a little bit as it starts to pull away from the Dominican Republic, eventually over Bermuda, where things are really going to start to kind of transpire. And then eventually develop into a tropical storm, and then eventually forecast to become a Category 1 hurricane here before potentially making landfall in in the southeast coast, somewhere along South Carolina coast. That can change a little bit. You can see that cone of uncertainty there kind of bubbles out pretty big. However, we're looking at several different variations of what could happen here. So we could see this system. You can see where this line ends here. This is the path that the National Hurricane Center anticipates based on models that this is going to go. However, you can see way out here on Monday, October, or Wednesday, October, or Tuesday. I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They all run together. But you can see we're looking at, so when out on Wednesday, they're still looking at this system to be kind of right off the coast. So a lot to digest, and bear with me. I'm trying to work through this just as much as you guys are, trying to figure out exactly what's going to happen and how to put this in words to not create panic or chaos or anything like that throughout the local community. But definitely running the risk here, and this is one model in particular, the Euro model, is showing this storm actually coming in, kind of stalling out for a day or two, and then eventually working its way in. That is worst case scenario here, okay? So that's going to be dumping, in excess of a foot of rain forecast for the Myrtle Beach area and parts on the coastal portions of South Carolina and eventually North Carolina as well, but also bringing a lot of rain into the interior portions of South Carolina and North Carolina as well. The other option here is the GFS model, which is kind of, as of the most recent run, is actually showing it going out to sea, getting close to shore here, and then eventually scooting out to sea. But that's, we look for model trends. We want to make sure that things are lining up to be, in the right direction here. We want to make sure they're trending the same. So one-off runs we don't really care too much about. We don't really take them into consideration too much. But there's a lot going on here. You got Humberto out here that can be providing some kind of influence here. You've got that low pressure system that we're looking here for dominance here. So that's going to be bringing your winds wrapping around counterclockwise around that system. So that can act as a steering mechanism as well for this system. So there's a lot of factors that kind of go into this. Right now, what I really want to bring home on my live streams here today and into tomorrow. After tomorrow, we'll have a little bit better guidance on exactly what the trajectory of this system is going to be like, what exactly the strengths are going to start to look like, and the impacts. I'm not going to get into, there's some crazy rain numbers out there right now on some of these models. I'm not going to bring out any of those numbers tonight. As we get a little bit closer, probably into Sunday, we'll have a little more information on those rain amounts and numbers. So not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into wind speeds here. We definitely want to just focus on the fact that this system has finally just developed. So you can see it here on satellite, and it's starting to try and get its act together. Eventually, as it gets closer to the Bahamas in the next day or so, we're going to see that tropical storm form here, okay? And then, depending from there, we know that we're going to get somewhere close to the shore here before we either go out to sea or make a landfall or stall for a couple days. That's really all we know, and that's just me being honest with you. Not a whole lot of information on where we go from there. This leads all the way out into Wednesday. This worst case scenario, okay? Best case scenario, get a landfalling hurricane category 1, low end category 1, high end tropical storm. It's in and out of here like a normal storm would be. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is that stalling out here, and we've seen it several times with other storms in the past, and it doesn't paint a good picture for the local area when it comes to flooding. So right now, main risks, depending on where we end up compared to the eye of landfall of this storm, that tornado risk could be something that we need to watch for and pay attention to very closely. The flooding, coastal flooding, surge, wind is definitely going to be an issue. We're going to have impacts from this no matter which way we look at it, so we might as well just own that for now. So biggest thing here is prepare. We are in the aware and prepare stage. We have not gotten to the stage where we have to say it's time to activate and game on. We're in storm mode. Definitely paying close attention to that. I do suspect here over the next couple days we are going to start seeing, probably over the next 24, 48 hours, going to start seeing those tropical storm warnings and watches and maybe a hurricane watch or warnings over the next couple days here start popping up along the South Carolina coast, even Georgia and even North Carolina coasts as well. Given that cone of uncertainty is so large, we could possibly see those advisories start being issued here. But you'll be the first to know. We will let you know right away as soon as they are issued. But definitely keeping an eye on this as we go through the next couple days. Not a whole lot of information right now. And like I said last night, things are going to happen very, very, very fast. So if you don't subscribe to our YouTube channel, if you don't follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, please go ahead and like and follow us so you can get those notifications when we do post things or when we do go live with updates here. Starting tomorrow, we will start doing 2 updates a day. That'll be live stream videos or an uploaded video and a live stream. I haven't really decided on that yet. We're going to see what the models look like in the morning. But as far as models go, we can take a look at what we're looking at right now and kind of go through that. I want to show you what this European model, this Euro, looks like here. And right now, this is out at Monday. So you can see that center of low pressure, the center of the storm, is down near the Bahamas still, and just off the coast of Florida. So pretty close to the Bahamas still, working its way up. Here we are out at Monday evening, overnight into Tuesday, and we get out here just about before landfall here on Tuesday, and the storm wants to sit there and just kind of spin around. Here we are out at Wednesday afternoon, eventually into Thursday, making landfall finally just about the South Carolina Georgia line, probably Savannah roughly, and finally working its way inland. So look at the rain. If we just back this up and you look at that rainfall, very large amounts of rain here that we're talking about. If this is the case, if this is what happens, if this model does verify over the next couple days and stays consistent, we could be seeing quite a large amount of rain. Not to mention the tornado risks and things like that that could come with that as well. So we could be in for a couple days of very heavy rain. This is not a soaking rain. This is going to be a localized flooding risk here, and could be a very significant flooding risk here for us as we go through a couple days next week. So that, like I said, worst case scenario. We can take a look at the most recent GFS model here and take a look at what that looks like. Here we are out Tuesday, gets close to landfall, and then by Wednesday goes out to sea. So either way, like I said, even if this scenario verifies, okay. Now if we go back one run, let's go back to the 12Z GFS, and you can see that landfall. Okay, so this is a big switch here between that run and this run, to where it comes in close to shore, and then the GFS wants to spit it back out into the Atlantic. So like I said last night, there's a lot of uncertainty here, and there's a lot of different shifts in these models, and that's going to happen here as things start to verify. But now that the National Hurricane Center has been issuing advisories now, the next advisory here is at 8 p.m. now, so they probably just released that, and that will update here very soon. But we want to pay a close attention, because things are going to start to get a little bit more honed in and a little more official here as the hurricane hunters start going through and looking at things and punching that data into the models. We're going to start seeing those models come together and agree a little bit more. But we can take a look at these models here. This is the HWRF. These are more of a high-res model, high resolution. Let's back this up. We'll go out to Tuesday. So here we are out on Tuesday. About a Category 1 hurricane here, going out there and making it close to landfall there around Georgetown, and just spinning. And what I really want to point out here is these convective bands, this rain. Look, I mean, it's just a crazy amount of rain being dumped on the Horry, Georgetown, and even out into Florence counties as well. Just a massive amount of rain here out Tuesday, and then into Wednesday, still just pumping that rain into our area, before eventually on Thursday, this is as far as it goes out. This goes out to about Wednesday afternoon, but moving into Thursday, finally starting to get move that trek inland a little bit, or even eventually up the coast. This HWRF takes it up the coast, just off the coast, and never really making a significant landfall here, but coming very, very close. So we're sitting right on that eye wall for quite some time here, just off the coast. Okay, so that's only one model run. Let's take a look at the HMON here. We'll drive that back to about Monday. So out here on Monday, still out in the Atlantic, getting close to landfall here Tuesday, Monday night, overnight into Tuesday, and makes landfall south, just around, pretty much around Charleston, really, as about a Category 1 hurricane here as well. High tropical storm, low Category 1, making landfall Tuesday, early morning, so Monday night into Tuesday, staying consistent with what we were seeing last night as well. But we can also pull up the half-ass A, and we're going to run that out here. And this shows that South Carolina, probably around Savannah, Georgia, landfall. And that would be Tuesday morning. And just kind of hanging out and stalling right there, right at landfall. still bringing heavy rains up into the Myrtle Beach area as well, and Charleston, Georgetown, seeing some heavy rain there with that on some of those convective bands. So let's check out the half SB. And that's going to put us, that's showing about a landfall-ish around the same area, about that Savannah, Georgia area. And that's going to be early morning Tuesday as well. So, you know, a little bit different than what the Euro and the GFS are showing. But we're definitely going to keep a close eye on what the system is doing over the next couple days. Like I said a million times here, a lot is going to change. We're going to see things change over the course of the next 24, even 48 hours. But we can here, I will pull up, excuse me, let's pull up these spaghetti models. These are the most recent spaghetti model runs here. And you can see that turn out to sea there, and that's coming from that GFS model. But then you also see the ensemble members here that want to come together for that and represent that that Euro model here. So a lot to consider here. There's a lot of influence on this system, so we want to be very, very clear about that. This does show that area of high pressure here dominating over Humberto, making that swing around and actually Bermuda is now in that cone here for some impacts. But then we also have our area of low pressure here providing some steering currents here for this storm to kind of come in here. So we want to kind of wait and see over the next 24 hours here. Tomorrow morning we'll have a little bit better idea, and then definitely a better idea by tomorrow evening of exactly what's going to happen. So definitely just keep getting your preparations in order. Make sure you have a plan if things are to go south here. If you live in the Conway area, you live near the Waccamaw River, along the coast there, you want to be ready for that potential flooding issue. It looks like more and more as we go through the next couple days here, the flooding risk is going to be increasing drastically. So definitely want to have a plan if those floodwaters do start rising, the intracoastal waterway as well. We want to be sure that we have a plan for those types of conditions here. So overall, like I said, no need to panic right now, but definitely time to prepare. We're not, once we start getting some better guidance on this, it's going to happen very, very quickly. So we want to pay close attention to what's going on. And we will bring you that information straight from the National Hurricane Center and the National Weather Center, or the National Weather Service, and have that information out to you the second that we get it in our hands. So stay tuned. If, like I said, head on over to our YouTube channel, head on over to Facebook, Twitter, and give us a follow, subscribe, hit the bell button on YouTube so you receive notifications when we do go live, and set your notifications on Facebook for when we do make posts and go live as well. So other than that, that's really all I have for you tonight. We will be back tomorrow with more, and we will have posts throughout the day tomorrow as things change. But for